sudden drops in temperature, flickering lights, random movement of objects. These are some of the issues we'll be talking about today. From learning about the parallel world and virtually traveling together across the globe to different haunted locations, the ThoughtZone family has finally come to the end of its first segment. But in this video, let's address the issue of haunting more personally, shall we? Stay tuned to find out if your house is haunted and effective measures against such a predicament. The Oxford Dictionary describes the phenomenon of haunting as visitations by a ghost, while the adjective haunting means an unforgettable sort of sadness or fright. I think it's important to understand and sympathize with those poor lost souls before declaring war on them, isn't it? A spirit will, under normal circumstances, choose to haunt a person or place because of 4 reasons. Because they have died on the property, tragedy, murder and violence faced by the deceased, intense attachment to the place, objects or its people, and being unable to move on due to having unfulfilled purposes. It is here that you can aptly put the adjective of haunting. Loss, hurt, anger, regret, guilt, frustration and emptiness thus manifest into ghostly presences. But how can you tell if that sudden flickering of lights or that weird knocking is actually an ancient soul trying to contact you or just natural phenomena? After much research, the ThoughtZone team has prepared the following checklist for you. Sudden drops in temperature. It has been recorded that in most documented cases of hauntings, the place experiences a sudden drop in temperature or certain pockets of cold air around the house. Paranormal investigators use an electromagnetic thermometer to measure this anomaly. Next time you feel a similar cold spot, make sure to measure if the drop in temperature is beyond natural. Disturbances in electromagnetic field around the house. The hypothesis that after death, our souls turn into electromagnetic energy and thus a dead soul will obviously hamper the natural electromagnetic field around the house is the general idea behind this symptom. Professionals use EMF meters to accurately measure the changes from normal to unnatural. Flickering lights. I'm assuming most of you have seen at least one horror film where the presence of an unwanted spirit is marked by lights, TVs, radios, and phones acting up on their own. But do you know why this happens? It's because this unnatural energy is believed to either have some control over electricity and uses it to try and communicate with the residents, or that the spirit's energy interferes with the electricity in the house and causes malfunctioning of electronic devices. Either way, take caution if it keeps happening to you on a regular basis. Unexplainable smells. Okay, so this happens to be the most famous sign of haunting, accepted and acknowledged by professionals and people worldwide. Have you ever just been sitting around binging on Netflix when suddenly you smell an odd perfume or even cigarettes and then you realize you're all alone at home? Or maybe you wake up in the middle of the night to nasty odors of rotting and despite your best efforts are unable to find the source. But the distinct smell of sulfur has been reported by the majority of people who have claimed to be victims of haunting. To help you with identifying these unusual scents, use the Association for the Scientific Study of Anomalous Phenomena's Guide to Paranormal Scents. Good luck, y'all! Random movement of objects or mysterious noises. Let's address this common issue which we have all faced before. While these incidents can often quite easily, with some effort, be explained by science, sometimes it's not so simple. Been hearing too much of banging doors and crashing windows? Are you often confused about things in your house moving from one place to another without anyone touching them. How about just the simple loss of important items? In these cases, it's probably a poltergeist. As explained in our previous video, link to which you will find above, the poltergeist, although more powerful than most, is not deadly or particularly harmful. Thus, instead of offending them by using aggressive methods like burning sage and calling upon an ascetic, try extending an olive branch. Odd reactions by pets. Has your golden been way too fixated on a random spot in the house? Maybe your Labrador keeps barking downstairs and up walls for no reason at all. Does your usually fearless feline refuse to enter a certain room, no matter how many treats you offer her? Birds getting restless out of the blue, and even fish in aquariums showing odd and erratic behavior can mean haunting. The simple science behind it is that animals perceive sounds, sights, smells, and even the slightest movements, which are simply impossible for us humans to pick up. Try bringing a dog or cat over to your house if you think it's haunted. Their reaction will tell you much more than some money-crazed psychic. Don't ignore shadows, noises, blows of air, or even sensing presences. Now, how to deal with a haunted house? We've divided the do's and the don'ts. The do's. Remain confident, since spirits often prey on the weakest. Ask them to leave first. It was their home before yours, so it's just formality. Ask help from a trusted medium. They have been known to peacefully resolve matters. Try cleansing processes. Maybe the poor thing just needs some help to move on. Claim the house with strength and courage. When peace doesn't work, show some dignity. Vacate the property if possible. Some places are magnets for ghosts and they simply refuse to leave. Better not take too much risk. If nothing else can be done, it is often possible to coexist. In most cases, the signs cease after a while and everybody lives happily ever after. Now, carefully follow the don'ts. Don't be unnecessarily aggressive and violent. You'll just be pissing them off. Don't provoke them. Remember, they have more control over the surroundings than you. Don't attempt to get too involved. Children and teenagers are often the ones who dig too deep and often end up regretting it. Don't jump to conclusions about their nature and intentions. It's possible that they don't even mean any harm. But most importantly, don't ignore if the situation worsens and follow the do's. We at ThoughtZone sincerely hope you will need this information for precaution only. More amazing content coming up very soon, so stay tuned to our channel. If you like this video, like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell to show us some love and support. Comment down below what you want to see next. In the meantime, check out more awesome content from ThoughtZone.